Hello and welcome to the latest Justin Hamilton podcast. On today's episode, we are welcoming Dave Anthony back to the show, and I reckon this is a pretty interesting podcast. We dig into a lot of things, a lot of people. I share some personal stuff that's been going on of late that has left me a little bit discombobulated, and it spills into some, some pretty honest conversations as you would expect with Dave. And then we talk about some of the stuff that's going on politically, especially in his country. And as always, we finish with an update on what's happening with Dave's son in high school baseball. So it's a really interesting chat. It's a really funny chat. It's a really honest chat. And I think you'll be into this. So strap yourselves in and get ready. Before we bring Dave in, just a reminder, if you would like to support this podcast via Patreon, you can sign up for as little as $5 a month, and that will get you access to ad-free versions of this podcast. You will also have access to bonus podcasts, and there's a couple of videos, works in progress that I filmed and recorded, and you can check them out as well. So if you would like to support the podcast in that regard, head over to patreon.com/Justin Hamilton, and you will find a tier that suits you. I will swing by at the end of this, and I'll update you on which podcast is coming out tomorrow. Yes, you might not be across it. You might not have listened to Tuesday's episode, but we have three this week, and it might become a fortnightly thing where we will be giving you three podcasts instead of the Thursday rhythm that we've had so far in 2026. But I will tell you about that at the end of the podcast. And for now, let's bring in Mr. Dave Anthony. Oh, and by the way, if you're just listening to this and not watching it, it goes quiet for a little moment. And the reason it goes quiet is I go and change my hat. Why do I change my hat? I'm not going to tell you. You'll find out right at the start as soon as Dave lays eyes on me. Now, so I have something fun to read out to you.
Before you do anything.
Oh, yes.
Fuck your hat. Fuck your hat.
I'm so sorry. Can I turn it around? Is that better?
Why would you do that?
You know what? I wasn't thinking. I wasn't. Wait. Just wait. I'll make this better for you.
I grew up raised
there you go.
Dodgers. Raised since a little boy. Yeah, much better.
I can't hear you. My headphones have to be put back in. Here we go.
I was telling the audience that I was raised from a young boy to grow up to hate the Dodgers. When my son was born, my wife was like, what if he's a Republican? And I was like, that's fine. Like I'll still love him. And she said, what if he's a Dodger fan? And I said, absolutely not. When my son went to a birthday party when he was 5, he refused to eat the cake because there were Dodger plates under the cake.
Oh.
He once pushed a grocery cart into a guy at the grocery store wearing a Dodgers hat.
Amazing.
And then you roll in here with a Dodger hat on.
Mate, I cannot begin to tell you how little interest I have in baseball apart from the hats looking like a nice insignia. I'm more than happy. Like I'll flip. Like I'm more than happy to wear a San Francisco.
Ignorance is no excuse for breaking the law.
Well, I beg to differ from what I've learned in recent times.
Well, we don't have laws. So.
Ignorance is the only thing that's keeping me.
Yeah, that's true.
So I should be a Giants fan. Is that who I should barrack for?
I mean, it doesn't matter anymore. The Dodgers are just going to buy every championship. So baseball's over, basically.
So is there not a salary cap in baseball?
Yeah. Well, yeah, there is. So the way it works is they're like, so how can we do this without a salary cap? So they came up with this solution, and that was a luxury tax. So once you hit a certain amount every year, you get taxed more and more. And so like after like 4 years, teams like, okay, we got to reset it. And they go back below it, and then they can go above it again. But the tax goes up every year you're over it. And the Dodgers are just like, Who cares? And then so they're way over the salary tax, but then they also just started deferring payment. Like Otani doesn't get any of his salary until 2030 or something like that.
Right,
So he did that for one of the main reasons he did it is because he's dodging taxes in America.
right.
So if he is done playing, then I'll be living in Japan. He won't have to pay it. So the LA people are all celebrating the fact that their number one guy is depriving their city of needed tax money. It's all
Yes.
very smart. It's a very smart thing.
Yeah, but in everyone's defense, like a world championship,
Yeah.
that
Hey,
well, that covers the roads. Like, that
uh,
fixes the
I
libraries.
already I already watched them do the whole thing with Kobe, so I don't have a high. I don't really think much of LA fans.
Yeah. I don't know if we've ever discussed this, but the first NBA game I ever saw was the 1983 playoffs where Philadelphia won against LA 4-0. And
Mhm.
then the next year it was Boston beating LA 4-3. And
Yeah.
so all of my friends as a kid were Dr. J fans, they were Larry
Oh
Bird
yeah.
fans,
Yeah.
and I liked
I was
Magic
a bird
Johnson.
guy.
So I
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I'm gonna support LA. And it was, this is back in the day when if you wanted to read the latest NBA basketball magazine, it turned up 4 months after it was published because
Right.
that's how long
Right.
it took to ship
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
And any news in the paper was the scores, and you knew who the home team was because they were in bold. And sometimes, just sometimes, if it was a big game, you got a picture and a little write up, right? So this is the world I was living in Adelaide following Magic Johnson, and I honestly thought the Lakers were like barracking for the Memphis Grizzlies, the
Uh-huh.
hard done team. Everyone picks on them. Everyone
Yeah.
everyone's hanging shit on them. And when are these guys going to cop a break? And it was quite a shock to the system to discover that I've been barracking for the evil empire for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, you were.
Yeah,
Though they weren't that bad back then.
no,
Comparatively, um, they were just, really good, and that's why people didn't like them. Like,
yeah,
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and it was an insane basketball team.
hmm.
I think that today's sort of version of bad guys in sports is really much more evil.
Yeah, yeah,
Like really,
absolutely.
really bad now.
Yeah, well, that was another reason that I barracked for the Lakers was because Kareem used to cop all of this abuse,
Yeah.
and to me, what are you talking about? He fought Bruce Lee in Game of Death, and he was Roger
Yeah.
Murdoch in Flying High / Airplane.
And he's really like one of the all-time great guys outside of the
Yeah,
court, you know?
yeah,
He's just a great dude all around. I mean, I hated him because I was a Warriors fan, but not because they're bad people,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah, it's sports
Yeah.
hate, which is
Yeah.
fun. It's fun to have
Yeah.
sports hate. When
Yeah.
one of
I
my
I don't one of the reasons I hate the Dodgers, like the owner now funds ICE,
Right, yeah, yeah.
like like they're legitimately the Dark Star, the Dark Star, Death Star,
Death Star.
the Dark Star. They're very much a Dark Star.
Yeah, yeah. They're a lesion on democracy. That's what they are, right there.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's funny, the idea of sports hate. So when I was in my 20s, I shared a place with a National Basketball League player called Brett Wheeler, and he used to play against a team called the Southeast Melbourne Magic when he played for the 36ers, and I hated this player for the Melbourne
hmm
team, Tony Ronaldson. Just hated him with an outright passion. His team was always good, and he was always hitting big shots. I couldn't stand him. And then eventually Wheeler moved to Melbourne and started playing for that team. And
mm.
I then met Tony Ronaldson. And you know what that guy was? An absolute delight. He was so nice. He was lovely. And I was like, God damn it. I
Yeah.
couldn't even sports hate him anymore. I was like, no, he deserves everything. I love this guy.
Yeah, that's a sad moment when that happens.
Yeah, I was sitting there, I was pushing against it. I was like, no, mate, you're not going to win me over. Then he said something nice, and I, well, that was probably just a brain fart. And then he said something else that was nice, and I went, okay, well, that's a coincidence. And then, but a third, I was like,
They
God
just
damn
kept
it,
coming.
he
Yeah.
just won me over so easily.
Yeah.
And he didn't even know that I had a sports hate vibe for him.
Yeah.
He was just being
Yeah.
a good
It's just who
dude.
he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny, isn't it, to look at sport now and try to, there's some athletes that I respect and I think they kind of put themselves on the line, but it's interesting where, like, I think you can't really believe in too many of them because no matter where you look, they're going to be compromised at some point. So
Yeah, they're gonna be compromised. They're also so rich. I mean, I don't know what the AFL is like, but here they're so rich
so rich. Yeah.
that, the richer you get, there's all these studies, the less empathy you have for
Right.
other humans. So they're
Yeah.
just not great people. A lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah. And you see them draw their lines. Like, I kind of uh on one hand, I really respect someone like LeBron James, who has, came from nothing, has been a good
Hmm.
family man, has spoken out against things. But I remember when the Houston GM made comments about China and China decided they weren't going to endorse the NBA anymore, LeBron was pretty quiet. Okay. You're not going to say anything? All right. Okay. Uh, I've got a foundation over there. I've got stuff to do. This is money.
Yeah.
I genuinely look. There's only two people in the NBA that I genuinely believe are good people, and I'm reluctant to bring it up because you're very good at bursting my bubble. But I
I
also
don't know. I don't
I've
know a lot about NBA players like I used to.
well I reckon one's a player and one's a coach.
Uh-huh.
I reckon Steph Curry's good.
Well, I thought he was good until we all found
Ah,
out he was investing tons of money in Israel spyware companies.
why did I bring it up? Like, just why? This is
And
on me.
literally everyone was just
God
like, "Oh,
damn.
really?
Steph,
You, Curry?" Like, the kind of that are like killing people, spyware
are you sure
stuff.
maybe it's just a spyware that's,
I
just making
wish.
sure that you don't have, like a
Uh.
disease on you. All right. Okay. All right. I'm going to bring up one more then. And I reckon Steve Kerr is a
Yes,
decent guy.
nothing but a good guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Popovich, Kerr, like those guys
Yeah.
are like, they're top notch,
Yeah.
top notch.
I saw some footage of Tim Duncan, the ex San
Yep.
Antonio Spurs champion. For those who aren't across him, still goes and helps Popovich every day with his recovery from having a stroke, and still works out with him. And
Mm,
you just go, oh yeah, that's
yeah.
that's what I needed. I needed a good story
Yeah, that
today.
makes sense. I mean, those two coaches are probably the best guys.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
no, it's not surprising that they had success.
yeah. It feels like they you know, they have a sense of what's going on outside of their sphere.
Yes. And they know, like, how many of the percentage of players are black, and so to speak out for that, like you're representing, more than just a team,
Yeah,
at that point, you're representing something bigger. So they know that they have a larger obligation
yeah,
to speak out as white guys.
yeah. I tell you what, though, it's hard to watch sport these days and look at all the
Man,
people in the front rows and go, yeah, isn't it nice to
mm,
know that the people who really need sport to have some sort of joy in their lives, if they can get into that arena, they're right up the back. And then you see these presentations like Ticketmasters giving two lucky
mm,
people at the game, they can have courtside tickets for one game, and it's probably
yeah,
because some rich asshole just hasn't turned up, and they just want to fill a gap. And Ticketmaster are the fucking worst.
evil. Yeah, it's. I mean, I when it comes to prices, like that's on the fans. Like I don't know what's wrong with sports fans that they can't just take a year off or a month off
Right, right.
and just go, oh, so you did this? Like the benefit to everybody, if when prices went above a certain level, everyone just went, okay, nope,
Yeah,
we're not good. But people literally can't do that. And I find it really fascinating, like watching the Dodgers win the World Series and just the whole Latino population of LA come out and like cheer them on. You're just like, you guys all know what they're, and a lot of the players are totally support it. That's the other thing is like they're rich and a lot of them are right wing assholes.
yeah,
So just watching, and it happens all the time where prices go up or something happens with a team, and I go, okay, so you guys don't go. I
yeah,
mean, literally, don't go to 2 games and it's over.
yeah,
2 games, it's
yeah.
over, and people just can't do anything.
No, no, and it's like someone was saying to me, "Does the Australian comedy scene have a union?" And mate, after I stopped laughing and managed to gain my breath, I explained that even if 199 of us said we're not going to perform for this low amount of money that you pay across the board,
Mhm.
someone would come along and go, "Oh, I'll do
Yep,
it for less."
absolutely. Right in a second. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's absolutely no unity among most comedians,
yeah,
no solidarity
yeah.
whatsoever.
I did see, speaking of comedians, poor Dave Chappelle. I saw him really pointing out, that as he says here, the United States government does business with the Saudis, Netflix does
Mm,
business with the Saudis, and none of these things were an issue until I went there. So why, as soon
mm,
as a black man can make money off the
mm-hmm,
plantation, they try to tell you that the money is dirty?
mm-hmm. Well, that's what we were waiting for. We were waiting for a black man to go over there before we really threw shit at it. Like
Yeah,
we were all sitting around going, "Can we just get a you got pay a black guy already?" And then they
yeah,
did, and we're like, "Well, here we go."
yeah,
That's yeah, he's right.
yeah, because there was no criticism before.
No, we
No,
didn't say a word. We just
yeah.
very quietly watching.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
it's
right.
like he's at the top of his game because the thing that comedians are very good at is making their POV sound plausible and fair enough.
They're, they really a really good work. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not surprised that he is having trouble with all this stuff because the thing that always put me off of his comedy was that it would start truthful and then drift into a ridiculous lie. Whereas I thought if he just stuck with the truth, it would be really funny. I remember his first special, he did a bit about a baby walking in the street in the hood. And then he took it to this place where it was so outlandish that it was just like, well, yeah, well, you didn't need to do any of that. Like you had a real thing
Right,
and then you turned it into something not real. So I watch him spin out and I'm like, yeah, because you never actually did real.
right, right. Yeah, so it's always been in this malleable world of
Hmm.
make believe, and so
Yeah,
it's harder to get back to that foundation when
totally.
that's what you're surrounded by.
That's your go-to. And now it
Yeah,
doesn't work for this shit.
yeah. It was fascinating to see how angry he was at the certain members of the Republican Party for using his trans material as a weapon when that's not how it was intended. It was
No,
just jokes against that minority.
it's just supposed to be it was just supposed to be really terrible jokes against the persecuted
Yeah,
minority.
yeah,
Can't you take it as it was intended, not as a weapon, but as just like a other weapon?
yeah. It's literally what everyone was saying.
Yes.
Once again,
Why are you
literally,
punching down? Yeah.
yeah. And
Well,
and this
yeah.
this will be
Dave, you're
used.
talking about punching down? You're talking
Yeah,
about punching down, right, Dave?
yeah, yeah,
I can't believe it was used against them. It's so weird. It's weird what happens when there's a minority that's being attacked and you use your large presence to make that normalized. What a strange thing that other
yeah,
people then, yeah, weird.
yeah. Like what are you fighting against? Like what is it that's inspiring you to stand up and go, "Yep, that tiny target there. I'm going to use all my might."
There, so the one thing about right. So there's toxic masculinity, right? Which is I think, a really overused thing, but I do think it does exist on some level, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's there, but I think it is an overused attack thing. But when you're talking about trans people, if you're really breaking it down, well, then you're going to have some toxic masculinity coming from that group. And so I think there's trans people that get pretty aggressive with stuff. And comedians are, how do I put this? Soft little bitches. And really, they want to have all the free speech in the world, but not the reaction to free speech.
Right.
So you got to, like, if you're putting shit out there, you got to be able to be like if I'm doing an album and I'm really taking opinions on a subject, well, then people are going to come at me,
Yes.
and particularly a minority who are okay with being vocal and telling you to go fuck yourself. So, deal with it.
Yeah.
I think the one reason that people go after him is because they think that they're just going to lay down and take the abuse. And it's like, that's not that population, man. It's just not.
Yeah.
Never
Yeah.
has been.
Yeah. Don't you think they've gone through a lot to get to this point?
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
So so
They,
so
they're,
now they're going to
yeah,
stop. Oh no, you're right. You made some really pertinent points in the wrapped up in a gag. You know what? I am
yeah.
questioning everything.
Thank you, David. I'll
Yeah.
sit back and just really think about my whole life. Or, go fuck yourself, you dumb, washed up asshole. There's the other. You can do that. And his comedy is not as good as it used. I used to sit like in the Boston Comedy Club. I used to sit there and watch him 3 days a week, just fucking mumble, like not even go up there with any plan and just talk for an hour. Like it was like amazing. Like for two
Mm,
years I did that. And he's just such a shell of what he used to be.
right. Do you think you just get to a point where you hit an age as a stand-up comedian and you've literally said all the things you believe, so in your desperate attempt to remain relevant, you start going into areas that you hope to believe in, so you've still got something to say?
Maybe.
I'm
I mean,
asking
that
for a
could be
friend.
possible. But I feel like you just say his name. Who is this guy? Um, yeah, I mean, I think there is you might have less to say, but there's also comedians that do have more to say as they get older. I
Mm,
do think I genuinely think that a lot of success does kill people's creativity for a lot of them. I just don't think the drive is there.
yeah.
And then you're just kind of searching around for a topic to talk about. And you see everyone talking about trans people, and so you go, "Well, this is great. That lady's got a dick." Like, okay, who fucking shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's easy. That's the thing. It's just fucking easy to go after trans people.
Yeah.
But then you don't want the reaction. That's what always gets me. Like, if you're a big free speech guy, then you should be saying stuff that touches nerves. Then shut the fuck up and, like, you said your piece. People didn't
Yeah.
like it. That's what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Even some of the people that have pushed back, especially against the comedians that went to Saudi Arabia, which is
Oh,
like pretty phenomenal.
yeah.
It's we had Jim Owen from Australia, the Irish comedian. He went over. I don't think he
Oh,
got
I
quite as
did.
much money as some of the others, but he's there on the poster, which is
Oh,
fantastic. Um,
congratulations.
we're in as well. We weren't left behind for once.
Those arguments of those guys just like, well, it's no different than taking money from America. Right. I've actually never gotten a check from America, so
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you're talking about. And
Yeah.
honestly, I wouldn't take that gig, so fuck off. They're just
Yeah.
so dumb.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, like even someone like David Cross coming out and, he seems to be on shaky ground even when he's trying to talk against it.
I don't know. He went on Rogan the other day and he didn't really confront Rogan, which disappointed me because David is really one of the most confrontational people I've ever experienced over
Right.
a length of my life. David will go after you for anything that he thinks is not right, which is fine. Like, that's his personality. So he's always done that. And then I was like, oh, cool. He's gonna be on Rogan, so he's gonna. No, I don't know. Maybe you get older and you don't want to do that shit anymore. But
Right.
It's disappointing. I was a little disappointed that was a little more lively.
Right. Maybe maybe a pre-bong takes all the edge off you.
Yeah, it could
Is a
be.
could be something like that.
Could be. But also like David's a guy that, he says enough with this comedy that like whatever.
Right.
I
Yeah.
people always want like comedians to be antagonistic on shows like podcasts, I mean, and
Mm.
I just think it's like when Marin didn't confront Barack Obama, there were people that were mad. I'm just like, he's a fucking comedian. Like you're literally mad at him because the journalists don't do their job. Like, what do you
Yeah.
like? You don't get to be mad at the comedian. Like, what are
Yeah.
you doing? So
Yeah.
I don't really like. I hope people do it, but if they don't, I'm also like, all right, well,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, it is interesting that the part that is often least discussed with stand-up comedy is the funny side of it.
Mhm. Especially now.
Yeah.
Well, those fucking guys, like. I mean, I guess everybody's been doing it. I mean, the thing about the dollop is I was always like, let's make it funny, right? It's
Mm,
always like, make it funny. We do some topics that are less funny, but for the most part, it's like go for the joke.
yeah.
I just can't imagine. And a couple times I've thought about like, should I just do like a political thing? And then I'm just like, no, I don't want to sit there and not, because then you're not funny. You're just fucking talking
Yeah.
about politics and your opinions, and it's like you're a comedian.
Yeah.
It's like Bill Maher, like he does that show, and it's like disguised as comedy, but the comedy is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
It's really bad comedy. And then the show's mostly just him sitting around talking about real shit, and then like what, 10 minutes of comedy maybe max.
Yeah.
That's not a fucking comedy show.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a straight talk show with some bits in it.
Yeah. It's
That's
a
all you're
mildly
doing.
amusing catch-up.
Yeah, so you're not at that point you're not a comedian. Like the comedy is the side project on that
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Well, that's not why we get into it, right?
Right. Yeah. Like, I think the main inspiration for getting into stand-up was I really like having people laugh when
Yeah,
it's all
there's
boiled
that.
down to it. Like, do you know
Yeah,
what I
there's
mean?
that.
But but it was something that I learned early. Like it brought me joy to make my mum laugh
Hmm.
as a kid.
Yeah,
And
oh
then,
yeah, yeah.
and then at school it made me happy to, if I could get the class to laugh or get
Yeah,
friends to laugh, so it was just a natural step forward
yeah, totally.
into that. And then I
Mhm.
guess, when also when I first started back in the 94, it was also that there weren't really any rules, so it was a creative free for all, and it's
Mhm.
like I've been working on this project that's set in 1996, and just going back at that time and going, that's right, a comedy night would be three people doing impro, and then two people acting out a sketch, and then there'd be someone who can't give up their punk rock sensibilities from
Mhm.
1987, and then there was someone doing clowning, and then someone was playing a character, and it was there was a musical comedy act,
Mhm.
there was such a broad range of
Yeah.
what was considered comedy, and they were variety shows when you look
Yeah,
back on
there
it.
were.
Yeah,
Yeah, there really were.
and then it just kind
Uh,
of
well, everybody, it's almost like TV writing. So TV writing used to be about life.
mm,
And then all the TV writers were people who didn't live life. They just watched TV. And then you can see that transition through The Simpsons if you watch it.
right.
At some point, you're just like, oh, now the show is just people who watch television and then come up with television ideas. And a lot of TV is like that.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's
Becomes
what
all becomes
comedy.
meta.
Yeah, that's what comedy's become. So all these
Right.
people are raised on watching comedy on YouTube. They can see a million different comedians doing a million different things.
Mm,
It's very rare now to get someone who's unique. It's very
mm,
rare.
yeah. Yeah. Man, I'm finding I've hit a point this year where I think I've had my first properly old man moment,
Sure.
which is extremely exciting. Because when you're younger and you see older people, whatever industry they're in, but mainly the creative industry, they kind of plateau and they hit a point where you're like, geez, why'd they stop making an effort? Like, why did
Yeah.
they stop kind of trying to continue to improve and push the
Hmm.
boundaries and explore different ideas, etc. And I think I may have hit that point because because I look around at what makes a successful comedian in the current age, and the things that you are expected to do on social media, and
Yeah.
the beasts that you have to feed in the off chance that it's you know translates into live experiences and a bigger audience. And I look at what's doing well. And I say this with no judgment, but I look at what's doing well, and so much of it is stuff that intellectually and skills wise we left behind 2 decades ago.
Hmm.
And
Absolutely.
I don't know how to simplify the
By
thought
the way,
process.
that's by the way, that's judgment, but go ahead.
It is judgment. Who are we kidding? Who are we kidding? I was just trying to make it nice. Anyway, I'm, but
Yes.
I've just kind of hit a point where it's like, do I even want to be a part of this anymore?
I can't emphasize this enough. Stand up should be a live experience.
Mm,
And so much of you watching it on video takes away from that.
mm,
There have been so many comedians over the years that I watched live in a club and then watch them on TV, and I'm like, it's nowhere near as funny.
mm,
It is a live thing, but now you have all these people training themselves on video. They're missing something. And
mm.
certainly there's some guys that are, oh God, who's the fucking the guy who wears the jumpsuits with the glasses and the fuck, he's fucking amazing. He's so fucking funny. But there are people that pop out and they're just naturally weird. And
Right. Yeah.
so there are some young people that do it. And then there's there's the musical numbers which I think pop a little bit more
Yeah.
online. But but there is definitely like I'm definitely watching a lot of like there's a female comedian who's super hot and not funny. And she has a million followers and sells out. And I'm just like, well, this is like you're not taking anything away from me. I don't fucking care. But also like this isn't probably great for my art form. But the thing that I believe should be really well done and crafted. I mean, there's always been those people who've been, but watching her just kind of just sell out and like, and I watch her videos and I've tried to watch long stuff. I'm like, literally nothing funny there.
Mm,
So that the medium is different, right? Because hot people could go up in a club and if it's crickets, it's crickets.
mm.
But you'll watch a 2 minute video online and be like, look at her. So
Right.
it's just a different animal now. It's just,
Yeah.
and I think to the detriment of stand up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Like I've seen some I've seen some people who have made it big online, and then I've gone and seen their live shows and have have literally sat in a sold out audience that is ready to pop. Like they are
Yes.
ready to go. They are
Yes.
there, they are invested, they cannot wait. And they wait and they wait and they wait and nothing
It's
really
not coming.
happens. And then
No.
but then at the end there is still a wonderful round of applause
Yep.
because I feel like they've been
Well,
conditioned.
they saw the person that they've been waiting to see, right?
Right.
That's who they've been wanting to see. So they saw him live and they're like, "Oh, there's our guy."
Hmm.
I was trying to look for the name of the guy I was just talking about, but of course it's not here where I hoped it would be. Um, yeah, the
See if I.
and there's definitely been, talking to clubs and theaters and whatnot. There's definitely a lot of, yeah, we sent that person out to do shows and it just fell flat.
Right.
It's like, yeah, because their medium is video. It's not live.
Yeah. Hang on. Are you talking about, sorry, you know this comedian you're talking about. Are you talking about Daniel Muggleton, Australian comedian?
No, he's an American
Oh,
comedian.
American comedian. I just kind of
Um,
clocked that you were
I
talking
mean,
about someone who dresses
my
differently.
friend.
Daniel's great. Ha- had a
Uh,
had a
not the.
very nice. I had a very nice moment on a plane flight where there was a mum and her baby sitting next to me, or a young child, and they were a delight. And the kid was absolutely great, and she kept apologizing. I was like, I have no problem with any of this, you know. And then
Mhm.
was and then at some point. We kind of clocked. She was like, "Hang on, are you Justin Hamilton?" I was like, "Yeah." She said, "Oh my God, I'm
No.
Daniel Muggleton's wife," and I was like, "Oh."
Oh, that's funny.
So, you know, uh, I always try to treat people well anyway, but geez, I was really grateful that I didn't choose that day to be an asshole.
Yeah, he dodged a bullet there,
Um, yeah, it's just yeah, it's like the creating side of things is I still find absolutely fulfilling, but
Yeah.
it's almost like the world that the creativity lives in is it's just like I find it more and more difficult to pretend that I give a shit about any of those people
Hmm.
and what they're doing. And I know it would actually be way better for my career if I could engage with those people, but I
Are you
I
are
just
you
can't.
supposed to at your age, at our
I
age,
don't
are we
know.
supposed to engage with them?
I
Like
don't.
it's okay to be aware of them and to appreciate some of them, but to like keep wanting to be involved, pass the torch a little bit and like let them have their thing. There are too many comedians.
Mm.
There just are. Just like there's too many everything now because there's just like the old people aren't dying. They just keep making stuff and the new younger people are coming in. And at some
Yeah.
point you just have like too many fucking people. I can't tell you how many comedians I know can't make a living
Yeah.
because there's just too many. Like they
Yeah.
just can't make money anymore. So it's weird. And the other thing is watching them. Uh, 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 they go through life watching these videos, and they know the kind of comedy they do. And whereas you and I would go out and struggle for maybe 2 years to get our persona down and our patter down, and everything we need to get down to do like a set where you can 15 minutes or whatever it is.
Yeah.
They come out of the gate because they've been watching and studying and
Mm.
perfecting.
Yeah.
And we didn't we to do that we had to go to a live show.
Mm. Yeah.
But they
Yeah.
they can watch 100 comedians in a day, and
Mm.
we that would take us 3 5 years.
Yeah, 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 of course. Well, it's
So
I guess the comedian side of it doesn't really bother me as much. Like, do you know what I mean?
yeah.
It's more the foundations that envelop, I suppose specifically the Australian scene, but overall, it's everywhere, and it's like I know that there are agents and managers who use AI when they're representing real flesh and blood people who could do that, and this desire to do things quickly to get a result rather than going through a lengthier process and finding stuff along the way. Uh,
Yeah.
just it just feels stifling, and so once again, even though I still enjoy the creative process, there feels like less and less places where it can exist and thrive.
Uh-huh.
And I do agree with you. Like there is a point where people have to move aside and let new people come through. I would find that much easier if I was much worse at my job. But do you know what I mean? Like when I'm working, I'm still kind of kicking
It's
goals.
it's absolutely fine for so like our audience should be older now, right? Like
Right.
and their audience should be younger. Like that's kind of what it should be.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
we don't have to step aside, but I think just mixing it up with the youngins, I just think like, all right, like I mean, okay, cool. You
Mm,
can help, you can do some stuff, but people who are like trying to get too involved and like inserting themselves into this, you're just
yeah.
like, hey, old guy, that maybe maybe don't hang out with 20-year-olds so much. It's I don't know, it's weird. It's weird.
It's weird. Yeah.
Step back, step back. You're supposed to be the older guy who's just like, yeah, I have an older audience. That's what I talk about now. I talk
Yeah.
about stuff that old people appreciate.
Yeah. Um, Finding those people can be pretty tough sometimes, though.
I gotta say, I don't know what it's like in Australia, but I heard this years ago, and I really do believe it's true because I never wanted huge fame. I watched my friend, like I watched Margaret Cho get it, and I mean, it fucked her up. Like just watching her get her TV show and just all the shit she went through, like it fucks you up. Like
Mm,
and she came out the other side fine. I mean, as fine as Margaret will ever be, but
mm,
um, I watched friends like become really famous, and I looked at it and I was like, boy, I don't want that, but
mm.
I do want a profession in comedy. So I've always, and I don't know, I don't remember who said this, but I heard it early on. If you, and it might just be American applicable. If you have 1,000 people in every city that like
Right.
you can make a really good living.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. No, no, no. That's yeah, that's sort of applicable here, but
Hmm.
I think trying to find those people is more and more. So, uh, since I last spoke to you, I've had a number of random conversations with different people that, you know, kind of take the wind out of the sails a little bit.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
there's been a couple of people who, fans who actually have told me that they follow me on Instagram who thought that I'd retired. And I'm like, and they said, "Oh, you never post." And I was like, I post fairly regularly." And then they went and looked and they went, "Oh, there's heaps of stuff here." But it's just,
Okay, but that's different because look, when you say I want to connect with people, like you literally have to have a fucking email list
yes,
because
yes,
the algorithm is not going to push us.
yes, yes. That's
It's
what,
just not.
yeah,
Number one, you're not going to go do a crowd work show.
no,
Number two, you're older.
yes,
So the algorithm is not going to push you to fucking kids unless you're being really bombastic and aggressive. Then it'll
mm,
push the shit out of you. So you're not gonna you have to go find them, and it's an old school email list. It's an old school like
yeah,
poke them and go, hey, by the way, I'm doing a show. The algorithms is not your savior, it's your enemy.
yeah,
They just are.
yeah.
Unless you're a right-wing douchebag, then you get like all these
A
right-wing
right
comedians
wing
aren't
douchebag, you
famous.
say?
But all these right wing guys aren't that popular. They're just pushed
Yeah,
by the algorithms. Like there's so many like Stabby is a great example. The algorithm thought he was right wing.
right.
And so it pushed him. And now people right wingers are shocked when they go to shows and he's like, "No, I like trans people. What's your fucking problem with them?" Like he just goes out and he talks left stuff and they're just like, "What? What?" Because the algorithm literally couldn't understand that
What he
he
was doing.
wasn't, yeah, that he wasn't right wing. So
Yeah,
he got through. And that would be if I were to give it any sort of guidance to any young comedian, it would be like follow that model of talking about stuff so you seem like you're not left wing, but you are. I mean,
right,
really, that's the way to trick the system.
right.
But those none of those guys are, they got pushed by the algorithm and they're gonna flame out just as quick as they went up because they don't have sustainability
Yeah,
because it wasn't organic.
yeah. The other thing was I had a friend of mine who I hadn't seen in a long time who ended up getting
Will Anderson.
no, I still haven't seen him in a long time. I no, it was a friend of mine who ended up getting quite drunk. Well, one of those nights where you're hanging out with a friend and then you go, "Oh, when did you become hammered?"
Oh yeah.
It was like one of
Yeah.
those.
It's like they snuck into the bathroom and did 8 shots.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you go to the toilet to do 8 shots of tequila? Like you could, I would have had four of them. Like, why'd you do this to yourself? But he decided. He said to me, "Aren't aren't you angry at your career?" Which is
Boy,
an amazing sentence,
no.
and I have to point out we were just talking about fun stuff, and then it was this, and I was
But
like,
does that mean he's angry at his career?
well, I don't know, because his argument was, um, he talks about me to so many people, and they don't know who I am, and I should be more famous than him. And
That's
I'm
not
like,
how it works.
but also, what are you meant to say to that?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've gotten this, like I've gotten like people who oh, because it was weird because I went back to my class reunion and all of a sudden I was a big guy, which I didn't expect.
Yeah.
But for my whole life, people will be like, didn't really work out, huh? And I'm like, I'm making a living
Yes.
doing my dream. Like, what do you mean
Yeah.
it didn't work out?
Yeah.
It's just because you're a household name doesn't mean you aren't wildly successful in this business because most people don't make it this far. We're like the 5% or whatever it is.
Yeah.
We made a living, we made a comfortable living, we got by, we're able to sustain ourselves. I know so many people now who are freaking out
Mm.
because they're 55, 60, and there's nothing to sustain it. And they're literally just like, what am I going to do? Get a job at Burger King? And it's like, maybe. So I have nothing to complain about. If you can work in this business, you won.
Yeah, yeah,
You
absolutely.
won.
Yeah. And it's also I think I was very much like you where I saw from a young age, I saw uh how proper fame can really
Yeah,
mess up a dude.
really. Yeah.
And it's like I saw someone from a close range, like Paul McDermott, who used to host Good News Week, was a part of the comedy trio, the Doug Anthony All Stars, huge star, comedy
Hmm.
star, incredible talent, and and I personally love Paul, but he can be hard work to talk to because it's always like he's always waiting for
Yeah.
something to come out of left field and hang on, what does that mean? It's like it means exactly
Hmm.
what was said. And why does this person not talk to me? Well, that's because you were propped up for so long and people were protecting you from your poor behavior, so you never had any ramifications, and then people finally snapped, and that's why they're not talking to you. What does that mean? Literally what I said. It's and so to just have a career and to be able to make things,
Yeah,
that's the goal. Like I think the
totally.
the perfect place to be is to be making a living and be able to catch public transport. And if someone recognizes you, um, they have to be an Uber fan.
Yeah,
Because
exactly. They have to really know who you are.
and then if
The,
they really
the,
know you, they probably will be quite nice.
I always just think about like I had a friend who when I was living in New York, I don't remember why they were with Jim Carrey, but they and his wife, I don't know who his or his girlfriend at the time. That was a while ago, but he was really huge at that time, and they went out to dinner in New York, and they got seated next to the window, and just a crowd gathered around the
Right,
window.
right.
And I'm like, and I just heard that story, and I was like, who would ever want that?
Yeah,
Like, that's a curse.
yeah. That sounds awful.
Yeah, it's a fucking nightmare. Like to be able to walk down the street and and the other thing is like if you're like me, I've created this persona, which is, ooh, should I talk to him?
Yeah, yeah,
Will he bite my head off?
yeah,
Perfect.
yeah. Yeah, just look from over there. That'll be fine. Man. It's
Yeah, it's all yeah.
yeah, I've yeah, I guess the the random conversations plus the the oncoming onslaught of the way the uh upper echelons of the creative world are conducting themselves. And then you just, I don't know, throw in some world events on top of it. It's
Hmm.
it really got to a point the other day where I was like, man, all you do is work. Let's go to the movies.
Yeah.
Who gives a
Yes.
shit? It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Who cares?
Shit.
Yeah,
Yeah. What? I just when Louis C.K. got, then they said there's a special. I'm just like, okay, so I guess apparently he's done his penance or whatever by. I mean, that year that he got accused,
yeah,
he made $52 million before that happened that year.
that year. Wow.
Yes. And then obviously dropped off, but he's done.
Mm,
And then he only had to take off like 8 or 9 months, and then he started working and doing clubs again, and then it just got bigger and bigger, and he's doing theaters, and now he's got a he he can orgasm when a woman is terrified
yeah,
and he's blocking the door.
yeah.
So he's a deeply fucked up individual, and since then I've heard much worse things,
Right. Yeah. Well,
right? Much worse things.
if that's what's out there, I can't
Yeah.
imagine that everything else is tickety boo.
Yeah. But I think that's one of the grossest sort of signs of how sick our society is that people think, well, he just jerked off and kept him captive. What? Like to me, it's just like, so he just kind of held him captive and jerked off. That's it. Okay. So I guess that's not that big of a deal. Like I hear that and I'm just like, it's just so weird to me. And I know all the media companies have taken a rightward swing, Netflix being one of the most egregious.
Mm,
Like people should cancel it, but just based on the stand up that they're elevating alone.
yeah,
But to see him get a special and just I was just like, wow, okay. So I guess just Brian Callen gets punished and nobody else.
that's it. He's the Jesus of the comedy scene to take everyone's
I am
sins.
I am relishing in his failure.
But let's not lose sight of the point. It's right out of the MAGA playbook, isn't it? If you just keep doing
Yeah.
more and more
Yeah, it
horrific
is.
things, the things that are also horrific but don't seem as horrific get passed off as okay. I've had women say to me that they didn't think what Louis C.K. did was that bad, and if they'd been in that position, they just would have told him to stop.
Talk to one of the women because I have.
Yeah,
Talk to one of the yeah, no, talk to one of the women. I've talked to one of the women. I can tell you right now, fuck off.
yeah,
Or why don't you let me do it? How about that?
yeah.
How about I hold you captive and jerk off and we'll see how comfortable you are with that statement afterwards.
Well,
Not
look,
a very
to be honest, I don't think you should be sharing your pre-dollop live show ritual that we all go through, but yeah, it would make the point.
Louis C.K. would break the mold of comedy if he did his entire special with a close up of his face while he jerked off. Now that would be art.
Is there is there is there a secondary camera that if you want to on your phone you can hook up to that and you
You
can watch
could.
downstairs? Yeah, there's upstairs and there's downstairs.
Oh fuck.
Man, I didn't even get to what I was going to read out to you.
Oh, what are we gonna read out? Are we
This is RFK Jr. once pulled over on the side of the
Christ,
I-684
God
after
damn
spotting a
it.
dead raccoon and cut off its genitals so he could study them later. The detail comes from his own private journals, where he describes standing there on the side of the road in front of his parked car, dissecting the animal and thinking about how weird some of his own family members had turned out. His daughter also recalled on a family trip after hearing about a beached whale, he showed up with a chainsaw, decapitated it, and strapped the whale's head to the roof of the family minivan with a bungee cord to bring it home. The smell was so overwhelming that the kids had to wear plastic bags over their heads with holes cut out just to survive the drive. So, my question to you is what animal's dick are you most fascinated by?
Well, that's the interesting thing is all of them. I have a giant collection of animal dicks in my shed. in a bucket,
In a
as they're
bucket.
supposed to be. Yeah,
Yeah,
as they're
yeah,
supposed
yeah.
to be.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so the idea is that you go into my shed,
Yeah.
and it's dark in there, so you really can't see, and you
Yeah.
put your hand in and you pull
Oh,
out an animal dick, and then you have to guess which one
yeah.
it is.
Lucky Dick. Put your hand in. What do you think you have? Oh, it's a shark's dick. Oh, I thought
It's a
it seemed a bit
squirrel.
sharp. It's a squirrel dick. He,
Yeah, I've been threatening to do um a RFK Jr. dollop just about him and animals.
yeah, right, right.
Because it starts very young. It
Yeah.
starts very young and it just keeps going,
Is
building and
so,
building.
so is he just essentially a serial killer who couldn't commit to the job?
I think he's on that level. He's definitely touching upon sociopathy. Like he's the shit he did when he was young is really just like, oh, you're going to be a killer of some kind. But
Yeah,
again, his he got to see video of his uncle getting his head blown off and then his dad was murdered. But I will say this, even before then he was fucked up. He was
right,
fucked up before his dad got killed. And part of that is because his dad kind of abandoned him to pursue politics.
right,
So his parents were never there. They were always on the road, and he was, that's why he started using drugs at 13 and all that shit. Like
right,
he was. I mean that family. What kind of what kind of father takes his daughter and has her lobotomized without telling the rest of the family what he's doing?
right.
I
That
mean,
w-
besides a guy who rapes his daughter, who does that?
right. Hang on, that's Papa Kennedy, the
Grandpa Kennedy.
Grandpa
So
Kennedy.
so JFK Jr. and JFK and RFK had a sister,
Yeah,
and one day she was just lobotomized. Now she had some issues, and all I think about that when I hear that is she was sexually abused by him.
right, right.
That's all I
Yeah,
think of.
yeah,
You were covering a crime,
yeah.
and
It,
then those brothers are like the whole family is like fucking Randy fucking fuck anything that moves. Like they're a fucked up sexually, they are a fucked up family.
yeah,
It's not normal whatever the fuck happened there. So yeah, that's my suspicion. I
yeah,
have no
right.
proof, but I don't know, man. If you're wiping your daughter's memory,
Yeah, yeah. In their defense, this was back in the day that if you got the flu, the way they dealt with it was they removed all your teeth.
that I agree with though.
Yeah, of course.
There's a lot of Rogan has been talking about the studies.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, you get your teeth taken out when you get the flu.
Yeah. No, I think he's shilling for big dental. That's what he's doing.
Did you did you see what happened that he went to the White House? Did you see it?
No.
Oh God, Justin, you have to see the picture. So, Rogan's been turning against Trump.
Yes.
He's been talking about ICE is bad and the war is bad. And there's several things he's like turning against Trump because he realized he made a horrible, horrible mistake and people aren't going to forgive him. But Trump's hearing this, right? It's all out there. He invites him to the White House. And I think it's like for a reason that he likes, it's some sort of drug legalization thing.
Right.
And so now there is a video and it's Rogan and Trump is sitting at his desk and Rogan is standing behind him. And on either side is like five guys. Now, all the five guys are way taller than Joe, which is not hard, but it's also very specifically obvious what's happened here. They're all in suits. Joe apparently was not told to wear a suit. Joe's
Oh,
just in a button up shirt.
right.
And Trump is talking, and then he goes, "Isn't that right, Joe?" And then Joe gives this weird little speech, and he looks so small compared to the chair of which Trump is sitting in. It is the most, it's one of the most cucked moments in American history.
Wow.
Trump invited him to fucking grind him into the dirt and make him get on his knees. And Rogan did it. And it is one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen for a comedian. It is a grovel level of fucking humiliation.
Wow.
It's really bad. And Trump is an artist at that kind of thing.
Yes.
That's his skill is humiliating other human beings. Like on the plane, he makes RFK have McDonald's. Um, JD Vance says he doesn't know about the Iran war, and then Trump starts insulting the Pope. Like it's all fuck with what you like, fuck with you. And Rogan's whole thing is, I'm a big tough guy.
Yeah. Well,
Now you look like a 4'2" guy,
yeah.
like really embarrassed. It's really startling. I think Trump is obviously just a deranged idiot, but I think that's his one skill is
Yeah.
humiliating other people. I think
Yeah.
that's his talent.
Yeah. 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 And it's uh yeah, that's a wow. I'm going to have to look this up. This is the first time ever that I'm like, man, I have to check that Rogan thing out. Uh, it's really fascinating. The
It's
fight
not
with
often that people.
no, it's a first time for every sentence. Um, there is something the fight with the Pope where I can't remember who it was at the White House who said that the Pope maybe needs to study theology before they get into an argument with Trump
Oh yeah.
was extraordinary. Is 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 the photo of Jesus Trump superstar healing the sick? Is that potentially finally something that will
No.
cause real damage? No.
Mm-mm. No. They when he got shot in the ear, all of those super evangelical right wingers decided that since he survived it, he was now God's chosen one. So
Mm,
everything he does now is through God. So God is working through Trump. So anything he does cannot be wrong anymore. That's where they are. They've literally just turned him into this thing. So
mm.
no, there's absolutely nothing that can make them flip. They're gone.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's good to
But
know.
they're a very small group now. They're like nobody's on board. Everyone's gone.
Right.
They've all
Yeah.
left.
Yeah. So what happens from here? They
He
JD
dies.
Vart's obviously
He's gonna die.
yeah.
He's gonna die soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
That
he's got advanced stage dementia. Um, he like the other day, a woman they had this fake photo op thing where a woman came to deliver a DoorDash and she brought two
uh
bags of McDonald's and like knocked on the Oval Office door and he answered the door as if that's how it works. And then he started talking to her and he was like, and you're here because, and she was like, well, because we're talking about the taxes. And he goes, oh, he goes, pizza? And she goes, no, taxes. He can't remember anything. He thought she was there to deliver pizza. And then he was also swaying back and forth like this, which is a really bad sign of end stage dementia.
right.
So he's got all these really bad end stage dementia things. The other thing he's doing is he's talking and then he goes, and then he keeps talking and then he makes a blank because he's aspirating and he's getting a lot of saliva in his mouth and he's trying to suck the saliva in so it doesn't pour out of his face. And the reason people usually die around that stage is because they can't they forgot how to chew food basically, and
Right.
so it's going into their lungs and they
Right.
usually get pneumonia and they're gone.
Yeah. So that's cool.
But he could blow up the world before this.
Well, that's the thing.
We're a good country. And Democrats are like, how could you do this? And everyone's like, well, you did it with Biden. Like, it's just the whole fucking place. This is a madhouse.
Yeah.
You guys need to build a wall and around America and just
Yeah.
shut us in.
Yeah. Yeah. I keep waiting for the you know, the NATO tag team that breaks into America and
Oh.
liberates it. You know, America should appreciate that. They've been very good at liberating other countries, whether they wanted to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
liberated or
Yeah.
not.
Well, we just say, yeah, you can just say they loved it. They were excited to be liberated.
Yeah,
That's all you have to do.
that's all you have to do. Just like
Mhm.
the Iranians, they were wrapped,
They were
absolutely
so
wrapped.
excited to be
Yeah,
bombed.
yeah,
The thing people love is to have a girls' school blown up. That's what they like.
yes, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
That was in all the posts. Man, the Iranian government, like we have to remember they haven't actually been the good guys over time. But I do appreciate their AI trolling.
Holy fuck, do they have game? I'd never seen a war like this where the other side has incredible fucking game. Like
Yeah.
just, I mean, did you see the Irish shanty they put out the other
Yeah.
day about Hex? I mean, it's just like they're so fucking good. And everything they say, they just beat Trump down. They just constantly telling you he's a pedophile, constantly telling you he has dementia. They just never stop. And they're so much fucking smarter than us. That's the scary thing about being in America and being intelligent these days is you're just like, hey guys, you're all dumb and the rest of the world is educated. And I'm
Yeah.
trapped in here with you, but you guys are all fucking idiots.
Yeah.
You're just idiots.
Yeah. Man, it was, your president in waiting, JD Vance, really, really helped swing that Hungarian election in the correct direction, didn't he?
I mean, if you think about the elections that Trump and Vance have swung, like France might have gone right wing
Mm,
and England too, like
mm.
before, although Starmer's fucked that up completely, but like those countries, like they watched us, and I think was it you guys
Yeah.
too, or was that before?
Yeah.
But you guys all watched Trump and everyone just went, no, 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 no,
No.
we're gonna go the other way. Like it was across the world, all these countries, like fuck that.
Yeah.
So we saved a lot of people.
So, yeah, that's the way to do it. Show by example, lead by example.
Yeah,
Um,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, the Hungarian election must be there must be a positive to that because wasn't the Republican playbook was to gerrymander the states so they lined up in that way, and
They're still
Orban
gonna do
still
it.
lost.
Yeah, well, they have there's a Supreme Court thing and it's going to allow them to completely steal the election. I don't I wish we had a party that um had some stones and would be like, "Yeah, that's bad. We're going to do something about it." But Democrats will just
There,
fucking do nothing.
yeah,
But I don't know, but that could really be the backbreaker because people are really Democrats are genuinely the people are pretty fucking done with their leaders and they're ready to do real action. Like there's talk that the Democratic states have a plan to stop giving the government our taxes.
right. Wow. Which,
So it's like real shit.
yeah, yeah. Uh, Everyone said that Alex Garland movie Civil War was unrealistic. It was a documentary from the future.
I remember they were like, look, listen to this movie, fucking California joined Texas. And I'm just like, buddy, anything can fucking happen in this country. Like,
Look
come
who's
on,
in.
literally anything can happen. This is all dumb.
I should let you go, but I'm dying to know how Finn is going with baseball.
Oh, not good.
Oh,
The coach is terrible.
yeah,
He just totally fucked with his head this season. So he's not having a great season. So we're just kind of bidding our time till the summer when he gets on that really, really good travel team. So
right.
it should rectify, but they're really in his head. Like his confidence is really taking a shot.
Man,
But
bad
he's still
coaching.
anywhere. Yeah, they're particularly just terrible coaches. But anywhere he goes outside of that, people are like, "What?" Like his physical therapist went to a game, and he's been treating Finn for like 2 years, and he was like, Finn went in, he's just like, I had no idea. Your arm is like a rocket.
Right.
Like I can't even believe what I saw. Like so, everyone outside of his coaches really kind of fall over themselves when they see him. So I kind of got to keep pushing that into his
Yeah.
head. Like, hey, man, everybody who sees you is like, wow, he's just got America has a real. I don't know what's. Do you guys have high school sports? Do you guys play other high
Yeah. We've
schools?
got high school and then we've kind of got club and district sports.
Yeah. So same thing as that. Now, do you have who coaches like the local high school? Who's coaching the
You,
Australian Rose Football Club? Is it a
uh,
paid position?
not, it's been a long time since I was in that arena, but it was usually either a parent or a teacher.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's pretty I'm learning as I sort of wade into this and watch or kind of take a view of the whole thing is that's pretty problematic because it attracts some real fucking assholes
Yeah.
who are into abusing power. And I think that if you're gonna have people who have such a big influence on kids, I think it's pretty fucking stupid to not pay them and vet them pretty
Yeah.
well.
I would, if I was in charge of any school and I was hiring any coaches for any sport, before they could have the job, they would have to watch all 5 seasons of Friday Night Lights on how to conduct yourself as a coach. Clear eyes, full heart, can't lose.
Uh,
All five
yeah,
seasons.
I mean, we have literally decades now of studies that just say like be positive,
Yeah.
have their back. You can give them instruction and maybe be a little like, hey, that's not how you do it.
Yeah.
But the fucking yelling shit and all that stuff, just like, what are you doing?
Yeah. It doesn't work anymore.
Why are you in it?
Yeah. Yeah. Bobby Knight wouldn't get through his first game if he was around.
No, absolutely not. And he shouldn't. Like
Yeah.
that kind of stuff's insane.
Yeah.
But it's still in a lot of places.
Yeah. And invariably, it's so performative. It's
Yeah.
like, look at me. Look at me as the coach. Look what I'm doing.
Yep.
I
Yep.
care. I know more. I'm enraged. And after a while, it's just like no one can be that passionate. No one can be that
No,
enraged. Like,
it's so we played a game yesterday and my kids team played a game and it was like an hour away and this team's like they're decent, nice team and the people were super nice. The other like they had a snack bar and they're just very, very nice fans and parents and stuff. And at one point in the game, our player got walked. And so he starts going to first base. Now, the rule says the other coach can't walk onto the field until that player has reached first base. But it's not a league game; it's an out of league game, so it's not like it's like not doesn't really matter that much. And the kid doesn't get to first, and the coach starts walking towards the mound, and our coach comes running down at the umpire. He's like, "Yeah, the player's not at first. He's not at first base." And me and the other parents are just looking at each other going, what in the fuck is going on? Who gives a shit? Like, what do you do? Like, what the fuck are you doing right now? And you just see that and you're just like, buddy, you shouldn't be outside. You should be in a therapist's office. You have real problems.
yeah,
And everyone was just like, well, that's not helpful. And then sure enough, after that, the umpire started calling really bad balls and strikes against our team.
yeah,
And you're like, what was the point? It's not a game that matters.
yeah,
It's not even a rule. It's a who gives a shit rule.
yeah, yeah,
Because it's there in case you want the kid at third to steal before the guy gets to first. But we weren't doing that. So who fucking
yeah,
cares?
yeah,
It didn't do anything to play. And you just watch these people and you're like, buddy, what's wrong with you?
yeah,
I had
yeah.
anger issues. I never had anger issues like that.
No, 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 not over flippant minutia.
I know, right? It's just so you just watch these and you're like, man, I said something to a dad, and I was just like, man, we got to do something about our adults. And he's like, I don't think they're adults, man. I do
Yeah.
not think they're adults. And I was like, yeah, you're right. He's not an adult.
Ooh, how many more weeks does Finn have of this?
Like three.
Oh, okay. So we're really close to.
Yeah, it's almost over. They're a good team, but and there's two other good teams in their conference, and so it's always the last 2 weeks at this side. Like you don't really, none of it matters. You beat all the teams, and then the last 2 weeks, the three good teams play each other, and that's the season basically. So we're in
Right,
that part.
right. Okay. And
Yeah,
in with a chance.
I don't think they have a chance because he's also. This is the other thing. He's really dumb,
Right.
and
Great.
that might
Well,
go along with the anger thing,
that goes
like
with the
getting upset
anger.
about
Yeah.
stuff that doesn't
Yeah.
matter. But he just does stuff, and everyone just looks at him. What the fuck just happened? Like you just can't. I'll give you to put it on your arena. If you told the point guard he could only make layups,
Right.
it's
Yes.
stuff like that. You're
Yeah.
just like, what are you doing? Why
Yeah.
does the little guy keep going for the board? It's
Yeah.
getting slapped out of his hand every time when he goes up. What do you do? And you just watch it and you're just like, how is anybody this stupid? Because we all know baseball. We grew up around it. And
Yeah.
so it's very hard to explain to people outside of baseball why little things are actually really dumb because they cascade
Yeah.
and it just starts a fucking problem. And so that's why there's talk about trying to get him fired. But if we go in and talk to the principal and the assistant principal, they're going to be like, I don't understand what's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he has kids bunting with 2 outs. Okay.
Well,
That's
to get them to
crazy.
first base?
You never would do that.
Yeah.
You don't do that. Let the kid hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hope the chance of a bunt working is low,
Yeah.
but he does it all the time, and everyone's just like, "What in the fuck?" One of the moms stood up. One of the moms stood up, and she's like, her kid's a senior, and so she's been there for 4 years, and she just stands up and she goes, "I'm fucking." She just screams.
Don't get in the way of an angry mum.
I sent him a really choice email though, text, I mean, and he said he disagreed with me, but then after that he shut the fuck up and left Finn alone. So
Okay,
cool.
man.
Yeah.
Fucking, I love hearing some fucking dad skills out of you. It's so good. You know,
My
break
wife
it.
was like, you cannot do that. And I go, he's dumb. Watch what happens. Of course it happened.
Yeah. Well, he immediately ate his phone because he was hungry. See, honey, I told you.
The thing I like about this conversation is there are people who heard this and know about baseball and they're like, he was doing what with 2 outs?
Yeah.
Bunting
Bunting.
4 times in a game.
Yeah. That's a lot. Like even I
It's a
know
lot.
basically that's, low percentage play, right?
Very
Yeah.
low percentage play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dave, always a pleasure to catch up. You know what? You've made me feel a bit better. How do you feel about that?
Hey, that's
You feel good?
weird. People don't usually,
I know.
that's not the normal thing.
Should I edit this bit out so I don't ruin your
There's got to be,
reputation?
there's got to be some people listening who feel worse.
Oh, without a doubt. I think there's heaps
Talk
of
about
them.
climate change really quick.
Yeah, we can throw it in if you like. No, let's save it for next time. Thanks, mate. Thank you to Dave, as always, for joining me on the podcast. I love catching up with him, and from the responses that you've been sending through, you love it as well. So we will catch up with the big man next month. Tomorrow, I am releasing the next quiz podcast. I should know that, with Bryden Coverdale. The first one was a big hit with you. I've had so much correspondence via Patreon, via emails, via my friends texting. And so Bryden and I had a chat and we thought, well, let's make it fortnightly. And the other thing was, I thought I'd release it on the weekend, so then you'd have something to do over the Saturday, Sunday. But I thought you might miss it on the weekend, so I thought we'll drop it Friday morning, and then you can choose when to play it. So if you haven't played the first one, it is Bryden asking me 10 questions. I will play along in real time, so you can play along as well. And then Bryden gives me the answers and we riff stories and anecdotes and bits of information off the back of it. The first one, as I said, you seem to love, so I think you'll enjoy this second one. I'll be honest with you. I thought it was pretty difficult. And then on top of it, you'll see me get stumped on one answer. And it was doing my head in while it was happening because I could picture the answer, but I could not get the answer. And if you want your podcast to be relatable when it comes to quizzing, that's a very relatable moment. So that will drop tomorrow morning. And as I said, you can play it, driving along, or pretending to watch your kids play sport, or doing the dishes, or you can head over to YouTube and you can write down your answers while I'm writing down my answers. But however you want to play, please interact, and then let me know what your score was. Andrew Palmer got 6 out of 10. He was the biggest winner from the people who contacted me for the first one. So I'd love to know how you go. Yes, over at YouTube, of course, you can watch this podcast if you didn't realize that. And you can also find a couple of stand up specials that I've recorded. And, I'm slowly building it, but there's a whole lot of stuff over there that you might enjoy. And thank you to all of you who signed up to the newsletter. That's building nicely. And once again, the newsletter is an opportunity for us to avoid the algorithms and, push back against what they want us to see, and we can have one-on-one contact. The newsletter will come out fortnightly. In it, there'll be suggestions for movies to watch, or TV shows, or books, or music, or whatever. And then there'll be usually some ticket offers, whether they're ticket offers for shows in your city or ticket offers for shows that I'm putting on, and just kind of will keep you updated as to how work is going. If you would like to sign up, head to justinhamilton.com.au and you can sign up via the front page. Yeah, you know what? I reckon that's heaps. And yeah, I'd like you to just be able to head off now and digest everything Dave and I have been talking about. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a loyal listener, and I appreciate having your company. Until then.